Hello dear students and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to study a new lesson in our course General English. Our topic today is present simple tense. And here we call this tense as the tense of what? Of S. So the rule of S or even the tense of S. We add S to the verb, okay? So in this lecture, inshallah, we're going to study the form of the tense and adding ES. And here we will know when to use ES to the verb instead of S. And also we'll study the usage of the present simple. And we are going to know together the markers of the present simple. And we will study some examples that cover the present simple tense. Also, we will know together how to make a question and how to make a negative form of present simple. So let's start our lesson. The present simple, as we said, is a rule of S. That means we add S to the verb, as you see here in this form, verb plus S. This is the general form. And I prefer to call this tense as well, the tense of S, okay? And we can say mainly in the present simple tense, we use a base form of the verb. And in this example here we'll find work is the verb. Our sentence is I work in Libya, and work is the base form. We didn't add any additional form to this word. But with he, she, it, we add S. As you see in this example, she works in Libya. So here we add S to the form of the verb. So generally we call the present simple tense as the rule of S. As you see here, generally we add S to the verb in some cases. We are going to study them later in this lecture. So what about the form? The form, here we use he with he, she, and it, verb plus S. As in play, it will be plays, we'll say he plays, she plays, it plays, and he does, she does, and also it does. We are going to study from where we add this ES, okay, to do. And also we can say he is, she is, and it is, okay. For the subjective pronoun I, we use a verb without S. So we use verb without using S, without adding S to the form of the verb. So we'll say I play, I go, and I am. For you, we, and they, we use also verb without S. So here we use verb without S with I and you and we and they. Okay, so we can say here for this form, you play, we play, and they play. Or even you do, we do, and they do. Or even you are, we are, and they are. So what about the rule of adding S, as we saw in the previous example of does? Here, out of do, we add, or even for the form do, we add ES. So do became does when we use he or she and it. Here we can say for the verbs that ends in O, the letter O, or even the letters CH or even SH. CH, ch, and SH, sh, and also S or even double S, or even Z. Okay, if we find them at the end of the verb, we add es instead of s. Okay, so for the verbs that ends in what? O or even ch or sh or even s or double s or even z, we add es, okay, instead of s. So we should not use s but es if the end of the verbs include these forms, okay, or these words, sorry, letters o, ch, sh, s or double s, and then. So here we have the examples for ending. For all, as in do. So here we should not just add s with he or she and or it, but we should say he does, she does, and it does. Okay, even to the similar verbs that ends in this letter o. Also with he, she, and it, we'll say reaches or ch. Okay, we have the endings is what? The ending here is ch. So as in reach and reaches is the form that used after he or she, or the ending here is sh. So the base form is, or the base verb is push. So we'll say pushes. S or double s, pass, passes. Z as in buzz, buzzes or buzzes. Okay, so you think of this form. So we can say also es added to verbs that end or that end in y, the verbs that end in the letter y. In case y comes after consonant, in case y comes after a consonant letter, not vowel. So when we say consonant letter, not vowel, that means we have some y at the end of the verb, and this verb is preceded with a consonant, not a vowel. What do we mean with vowels? Vowels are the letters A, E, I, O, and U. Okay, and the rest of English letters are known as consonants. So the consonants are the other letters, B, and let's say C, D, F, okay, till the final forms, okay, was the final letters like S, T, and V, okay, and even some cases, okay, we'll find even some other letters, as we said, and the final one is what? Z. Okay, if we found one of the consonants before the letter Y, okay, here we should use what? ES. We should use ES. And before using ES, we should make Y I. So we'll transfer Y into I, and then we'll add ES. So let's see some examples, okay, that cover this point. As in cry, cry ends in Y, and before Y we have R, the letter I. And the letter R is one of the consonants, not vowels. Vowels are 5. As we said, A, E, I, O, U are vowels, and the others, or the other letters, are consonants. So here, because R comes before Y and R is consonant, here we change Y into I, and then we add what? ES. So here, cry became cries in this way, not this form. Okay, by adding S, it's wrong. Okay, the next, or the second example, fly. Before Y, we have the letter L. So the form with he, she, or it will be flies, flies. So the letter Y became I, and then we add ES. Okay, and this is wrong. Okay, it's incorrect form. Okay. So but not play. Will not add s here. Okay, he will say for play will say plays, not what plays in this form. Okay, why? Because play ends in y, and before y we have a vowel, not a consonant, the letter a. Okay, and for that reason, okay, we just add s, similarly as the previous forms. Okay, this is for the verbs that ends in y and preceded with what? Vowels. We should add s, not ies or not es. Okay, even in the second example here, destroy, we should say destroys in this form. Why? Because before y we have a vowel, not a consonant. Okay, so this form is wrong. Okay, it's wrong. Okay, and this is the correct form, destroys. Why we didn't change y into I? Because the y, the letter y, preceded with o. Okay, so we just add s, not changing the letter y into I and then adding es as in the previous examples. Okay, so what about the usage? How to use the form? Here we use the present simple, okay, to talk about facts and true things. Okay, something that happens regularly, and also for something that is always true. Okay, so let's think of some examples for this point. Something that is true in the present, okay, as when we say I am, or someone say I am 19 years old. He's talking about his age in the present time. Okay, so you can say I am 19, I am 20. Okay, this is a form. Okay, we use this form, okay, of am. I am a student. He lives in London. Okay, and here you should remember that am here in this form is contraction, is a contraction for what? For am. I am is a contraction for am here. Okay, so I am in this way means I am. Okay. The second usage, we use the present simple for something that happens regularly in the present, happens regularly. Okay, so that means something yes, that happens or happened yesterday and happened today and will happen tomorrow, for example. So as in the form of playing football, so we can say I play football every weekend, or even I play football every week. Okay, we think of every here, tell us about regular things, that's or something that happen, or something that happens every day or every week or every month or from time to time. Okay, maybe last week and this week and even next week. Okay, also another example, Muna usually goes to school by bus. Okay, here we have the form Muna usually okay, goes to school by bus. This is a form. Okay, here because it's usually we use a present simple form, the rule of s, and here we use es. Why? Yes, you are right, because of the verb go ends in o, and after o we should add es in the present simple form. So why we selected s or es here? Because Muna is she. When we have she, he, or it, we add es to the verb. And when we have I, you, we, they, in the subject position, we should use what? Verb without s. I plus verb without s. I, you, we, they, verb without s, just play. But he, she, it plays. Muna here is she, a name of a girl, so she. Okay, she usually goes, we add es to the verb, to school by bus. Okay. The third usage for the present simple to talk about something that is always true, something that is always true, fact in our life, something represent fact, okay? Add the number of bones in our body or human body. The human body contains 206 bones. The human body contains 206 bones. So here we have something which is true. So we think of contains, human body, singular, it contains. So we add S to contain. Light travels at almost 300,000 kilometers per second. So travels, okay, in the form of light means it. It travels, verb plus S, travel plus S. Okay, why? Because light, it. Light is what? Light is the subjective pronoun, or can be replaced with the subjective pronoun it. Even the same thing as in human body. We are talking about the body. It contains, and it travels. Okay, so when we talk about facts, these are facts. Okay, when we talk about facts, we should use present simple tense. We should use the rule of S. What are the markers of the adverbs, or sorry, the markers of the present simple? Markers of the present simple. Here, they are the adverbs of frequency. Okay, we use them sometimes. Usually, they are markers. Okay, they can tell us about the sentence. Is it present simple or some other? Sometimes, usually, always, often, never, every day, every week, every Friday, every month, every year. Okay, every time. Okay, so tell us about what? Frequency of doing things. Okay, so let's take some examples. Here, I sometimes ... to the cinema. Here he gave us the verb go between the brackets. We should put it here in the right or the correct form. Here, first, sometimes is the rule of S, present simple tense. We should add S to the verb. Okay, to the verb we should add S in case we have what? In the subject, he, she, it. But in case we found I, you, we, they, we should not add S. We should just put the base form of the verb. So here we have the subject I. For this reason here we should say I sometimes go to the cinema. I sometimes go to the cinema. Excellent. Yes, you are right. Okay, you answer. Also in the second example, okay, here he said she never ... football. She never ... football. And he put what? Play, the verb that should fill this gap. Here first, when we see never, we'll say yes, never is one of the markers of the present simple tense. Okay, and for this reason, we should think of the rule of S. Never is the rule of S, and we should add to the verb S in case the subject is he or she or it. In case the subject is I, you, we, they, we should think of verb without S. We should think of what? The base form. So what is the subject here? The subject is she. So since it's she, that means play should be used here with S. We should add S to the word play. So our answer will be she never plays football. She never plays football. In the third example, they ... my relatives every Friday. They visit my relative. Why visit, not visits? Because they is one of the group of they, you, we, and I. They, you, we, and I, we should use the base form of the verb as it, without making any change or adding some S to it. So they visit. In case it was what? He or she, he visits, will add S. So here, because it's they, will be they visit only. Okay, they visit my relatives every Friday. Okay, so how to make a question? The formula for asking a question in English in the form of what? The present simple or simple present is using do or does. Do for are, you, we, they. Okay, the subject is are, you, we, they. We use do. In case does, or in case it was he, she, it, we should use does. Okay, so do you, for example, plus the base verb. Do we, the we is the subject, and then we add what? The base form of the verb. Or even do they as a subject, and then but does she plus the base form of the verb, does he plus the base form of the verb, and does plus it plus the base form of the verb. So here we have the first example. Does Muna play tennis every day? Does. Why does? Because Muna, and Muna is she. The subjective pronoun that can replace this word is she. Does she play tennis every day? Does she play tennis every day? Does. Does she play tennis every day, or does Muna play tennis every day? Does Sarah play tennis every day, or does Ahmed play tennis every day? In case we use do, that means the subject is are, you, we, they. So here, do you like cheese? Do you like cheese? This is the form. Okay. So how to use, or how to make a negative form? A negative include mainly not. Okay, as you know, include mainly not. The formula for making negative form in the simple present is subject first, he, she, it, or are, you, we, they. In case he, she, it, we use does plus not. In case the subject is are, you, we, they, we use do plus not. Okay. Then after does not or do not, we use what? The base form of the verb. The verb without any s here. Okay. The verb, the main verb, the base form without any s added to it. So when we say do not, we use a contraction for it. Okay. Don't. Does not, used as doesn't. So here we can say I don't, you don't, we don't, they don't play. But he doesn't play, she doesn't play, it doesn't play. Okay. So let's think of some example. I don't like cheese. I don't like cheese. I is a subject, so we use don't. I from the group of are, you, we, they. So we use don't like cheese. Okay. Don't plus like without s. Okay. The base form. He can be Ahmed, Ali. Okay. Boy, name of boy. Okay. So it's replaced with he. He doesn't like cheese. He doesn't like cheese. With he, she, it, we said we should use what? Doesn't, the negative form, plus the base of the verb, like. In case there is no what? In case there is no doesn't, we'll say he likes cheese. He likes cheese. But because we want to use the negative form, we'll say he doesn't, does not means he doesn't like without s. He doesn't like cheese. Okay. So that's all about our tense present simple. Inshallah, in our next lectures, we will talk about the passive form. Here we can say the general form, okay, that we discussed today is active form of present simple. Okay. In our next lectures, inshallah, we are going to study the passive form of the present simple. Okay. Thank you for joining my lecture today, and see you inshallah next week in some new lesson. Goodbye.